further ado, the floor goes to Roberto Cagna. Anna, thank you so much. Good afternoon or good evening, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. So there are many of you today, so this is it's a pleasure for us to see all of you connected, because this is the reason why we organize webinars. This is to increase interest to our products and make our customers loyal. So as Anna said before, my name is Roberto Cagna. I'm the handling systems manager here in OCRIM. I've been doing this since 2017. Also previously, I have worked in the handling systems or end of the line, as we say here, for 20 years. Now, here in OCRIM, we have introduced the handling system or end of line department in 2017. We also had a similar webinar 2 years ago. So this is the continuation. 2 years ago, we had the webinar to introduce or to present the story, and I'll be back to the story in a second, just giving you the key highlights of what happened in OCRIM. Today, we will be focusing on the new products and the developments of the new machines. We will be talking about wrapping machines or wrappers. So this is why the title of the meeting today is Wrapping the Future. What we will be doing in the future. So a couple of words on the previous webinar and the handling systems or end-of-the-line sector in OCRIM. You know that we work in the milling industry, but back in 2017, we took over another organization, very close to our headquarters in our city, Cremona. That company, was in operation for many years. That company was incorporated back in the 1980s, so 40 years of know-how and top technical skills. Their customer package and installation base was a very big one in terms of the number of installations, more than 1,000, but also in terms of having this global coverage of their business. So this know-how has been, if you will, imported into OCRIM, and it was integrated with the new technologies, new design systems that we have here. So we have created a new format on the machines. Machines have been industrialized. They've been, let's say, modernized. We have updated them, new applications, new components, new mechanical components, new logics, and in general, new automation. Of course, the final product and also the services that we offer our customers have taken advantage of all of these steps forward. Now, OCRIM is in the milling industry, but at the same time, let's say we've been able, if you will, to do something very special. We can now ship our machines to many, let's say, different types of companies, so not just the milling industry. So this is what handling systems do. So basically, they handle the so-called primary and secondary packaging. The primary action means putting the product into the bag or the sack or the bundle or the box. The secondary level means handling the sacks or the bundles or the boxes or the bags. So this is one of the steps of the packaging systems, including wrapping. So we not only, let's say, put a flour in the bag, so to say, but we also work in completely different sectors. So in some cases, they're very similar. In other cases, they're completely different. For example, salt, sugar, nutraceuticals, fertilizers, organic fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, cement, concrete, plastic materials, chemical products again. So, well, basically, all in all what can be packaged or, put inside a bag or a box, or even a very general system, for example, a bin or a tank or a bundle, or many types of containers. So what is very special here in OCRIM is that we have become a global company. So, well, of course, so basically we export our machines in Europe because this is the continent that we belong to. But we are shipping our machines all over the world, so in the 5 continents with quite a large number of applications and or installations. As of today, OCRIM has installed 1,700 lines or machines around the world. This is why we are one of the biggest global players in terms of end-of-line handling systems, bagging systems, palletizers, wrappers. So all of the lines or, let's say transport systems. Of course, we deal with or we handle pallets, both empty and full. So as you can see here, our range of products include palletizers and wrappers, or in general, transport or conveying line. In as far as the palletizers are concerned, we have the traditional ones, which are basically mechanical. We also have the anthropomorphic robots. We also have another category, which is the so-called combined machines. Anthropomorphic robots put to the service of the machine so as to guarantee all the benefits from every single machine. So together they are able to generate further positive aspects. For example, a much better or higher flexibility, installation, easy configuration, considering different types of layouts and or plans. In many cases, there's not enough room or space, so of course we create the unique systems. There may be pillars, there may be other machines, around our line. So once again, our machines are very flexible, really unique and custom made. Okay, we don't have much time today, so we have so many things to do, but I don't want to lose control of my flow of speech. So back to our products, so we have conventional palletizers. In this case, you have the two different types of loading or feeding from the top or from the bottom. The first line is up to 700, maybe 800 bags per hour. Then we have a second type of machine from 800 up to 2,500 bags or sacks an hour. Now, this means we can cover a production range, which is, typically what the market wants in this industry, which is what I have specified before. Now, in terms of wrapping machines or wrappers, well, this is the topic, if you will, of the webinar we have today. Now, this is the classification we have on wrappers. Basically, we have two categories. We have the so-called rotating arm and the fixed palletizers, two different speeds. Or in other cases, we have the fixed arm alternative or palletizers. In that case, productivity is up to 30 pallets an hour, so an average of 2 minutes per pallet. Now, this kind of classification describes exactly the topic today. So the AB555, this is the wrapper that we have recently introduced. Now, AB555, that you can see in this slide, is the fruit of our design. Oh, by the way, this is the rotating arm wrapper, okay? So as you can see, this is the model where the pallet, gets onto the conveyor. There's a rotating arm turning around the pallet, applying the stretch plastic film. We have plenty of options here. The main option, if you will, is the top device. So this is basically an arm that puts a sheet or a film of plastics on the top of the pallet. And this is exactly AB555. In this case, the table is rotating, the arm is fixed. I mean, the only movement we have is up and down, so the vertical movement. But in this case, the pallet rotates in order to be wrapped. So again, AB555, if you will, is an evolution of the previous product. This is not replacing, the previous one. In the past, we had the AV500. And what was special is that it was kind of a simple, easy machine, one of the best performers. So with the traditional film application or wrapping. Today, the market has changed. What we need is the pre-stretch machine. Now, pre-stretch means that our machines can save you a lot of plastic material. Now, thanks to the green philosophy we all want to stick to today, it's very important to consider this trend. So we decided, not to, waste time, and we have created a model which is really unique on the market. AV555 doesn't require you to replace gears or pulleys to change the pre-stretch ratio based on the features that you want to use or even the levels of pre-stretching that you want. Now, in this very case, so with AV555, we have equipped the machine with two motors. Now, the two motors work independently. So once again, they can be programmed, set up, and controlled individually. Once again, you can choose the speed, and what they do is producing a pre-stretch of the film, which is basically a traction of the film. Then there's a second, stretching of the film, which is what happens when the film touches the four faces of the pallet. So you may want, how this happens. Well, in this case, we have large rollers. The film is once again elongated or pre-stretched, and the percent may change. Of course, this is something that you can set up. So from the operator panel, you don't have to change pinions or pulleys or any mechanical component or parts of the machine. One of the features of this machine is that you can set up the pre-stretch from 0 to 300%. Now, 300% pre-stretch ratio means that if you take 1 meter of film, from the roller or the reel at the ends of the pre-stretch, you would have 4 meters. So this is an incredible saving in terms of, plastics films. And, you also comply with the environment. So two factors which are so important today. Now, in terms of percent, the weight or the grams that you have, at the end of this operation is less than 50%. In some cases, up to 1/3 of the weight versus a traditional wrapping. Now, to make sure you understand exactly what I'm talking about, we have prepared the video. This is one of our recent machines. So this is what happens soon after the palletizer. So you can see here the pallet here gets, into the wrapping machine. And you can see here the wrapping cycle. Of course, I'm now speeding up the cycle just to save you time. So this is what you really have to do to focus on. The pallet is very stable. Now, the wrapping cycle on average takes 1 minute 45 seconds up to 2 minutes or 120 seconds. So as I said before, production is between 30 to 35 pallets an hour. It is also possible to select how many revolutions you want or you need around the pallet, both on the bottom or in the middle or all the way up to the top of the pallet. So from the operator dashboard in a very, very easy way, you can also change the frequency of the up and down, so the vertical movement. So you can basically control the speed. Okay, this is a different video that we have prepared just to make sure you see that you understand that the pallet comes from another machine. The pallet gets into the wrapper. So this is the AV500 model with no pre-stretch. But the basic, operation, if you will, is the same. So the bottom or the, pallet rotates while being wrapped. Why do we have to wrap pallets? Well, basically, this is one of the key needs of the market, especially in the milling industry. If you want to, store your bags in racks or, if you have an indoor storage area, but also outdoor storage facilities, more and more customers want to make sure their pallets are protected against powder, dust, humidity, or water. So in this case, you can see here that we, put another final sheet or film on the top of the pallet. You can see here this sort of roof. And then once again, we continue with the wrapping. In this case, this is absolutely a waterproof protection. The second reason why customers want wrappers is to ensure stability of the load. For example, if you have sacks, if you have bags, or for example, when the filling level is not exceptional, with no wrapping, you wouldn't be sure about the stability of the of the layers. So you may have damages. You may be difficult to load half a pallet on your in your truck. So once again, this is now ready to be loaded on a truck, and then you can drive for thousands of kilometers or miles. When you reach, the customer premises, the pallet conditions won't have changed, so there will be no damage. We also have other options or accessories that you can install on the machine. Let me take advantage of having you here. We have the new Meti top. So this is basically a side arm that replaces the previous model, which is what you've seen before in the video. Now, this model, the new model, is smaller, so the footprint is smaller. It is modular. I mean, in terms of positioning, you can work either on the right or on the left. In this case, this can come with the wrapper, but also with many other machines, for example, the palletizers. And you can also put a layer of plastics, so a film on every single layer. We have already made hundreds of these machines, which is now very successful. Both the Meti top, I mean, for the top, or let's say cover plastic film, and also to include the film between the different layers. Now, we pinch and pick up the film mechanically, then we take it up to the cutting level. Then we have a blade, and now the blade is a very simple cutter. So this is very cheap. This is not very demanding in terms of finding spare parts. So it's a very ordinary mechanical component. So we carry out a horizontal cut, and then we position the film on the top of the pallet. Once again, thanks to the keyboard, the man-machine interface, you can adjust the height so that you can personalize the operation of the machine also per every single pallet. So it depends on the pallet type, Euro pallet or APAL, 80, 120, 100, 120. So you can reset a specific operating product considering every single type of pallet, so that the operator doesn't have to change, at all for every single pallet. So once again, the changeover time is basically, 0 time. So we can really save plenty of time during the setup. This is the new Meti top. So this is for the top layer. It comes with a palletizer. Anyway, the operating principle doesn't change. So we take the film, we lift it up, and this is the third final phase. I mean, we put the plastic sheet on the top of the pallet. You can also put a film on top of every single layer. This is a traditional or conventional palletizer that I have explained before. So based on how many films or sheets we want to put, you just have to dial the number of sheets and the level, so the height. So once again, the machine is absolutely very flexible. For example, this customer has very, very wet, slippery sacks. If you don't apply, this plastic sheet, it was really impossible or very difficult to stabilize the pallet. And he also managed to replace one operator. So there was one operator just, putting, films on top of every single layer. In this case, the operation is 100% automatic. Okay, then, well, maybe that was really, really too quick, but this is it. Let me now give the floor to my colleague, Paolo. Paolo takes care of automation in the handling systems from OCRIM, so he can tell you much, much more about the AB555 wrapper project. Thank you, Paolo. Well, Roberto, thank you so much. Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. Please give me just 1 second so I can share the screen. Okay then, so once again, welcome. My name is Paolo Molinari. I am the OCRIM FBC Handling and Automation Department Manager. Now, the main aim of the short demo is to share with you a simulation. I will be using a virtual PLC, which is this one here. So you don't see it, but it's right here. I will show you the main functionalities of the wrapper that Roberto has just, exhaustively described. Now, all the FBC OCRIM machines are based in the last generation automation systems in general. So this is Siemens branded. So we use hardware and software programs from Siemens. And I have to say that all of the handling systems or end-of-the-line machines may be connected, so they can take advantage from a remote assistance. So thanks to our remote connection, we can do troubleshooting, diagnostics. We can also help the operators setting up some parameters that I will show you in a second. So this is the first page. This is a so-called real-time homepage. Here you can see all of the operating parameters of the machine. If you enable one specific function that you will see in a second, which is called the manual machine, you will see these arrows. Now, the arrows give you the possibility to manage the machine manually. So this is out of the automatic cycle when it comes to handling or wrapping the pallet. So once again, it depends on your wish and your needs. You can tap on the two arrows. You can click onto the carousel, so clockwise or anti-clockwise, for example, for maintenance operations. And you can also move, the unit up and down, so vertical position. In this case, you have the general layout of the machine. You have the possibility to, once again, manually work on the system. We also have an alarm page. This is a summary of the alarms that we have on the machine. This means we have the right diagnostics, and if you want, you can implement corrective actions because of some, trouble or malfunctioning. This may be due, if you will, to, grease on a photo cell or maybe a film that's broken. So in this page, you can see all of the reports and all of the alarms. You can also see here possible third-party systems so that you can really take into account all the alarms. And this means that you can see them into a so-called centralized maintenance system. You can also have the alarm reset button. You also have another button in order to clean the film cutting tool or cutter. There may be some, plastics residues on the cutter or the blade. You can launch a self-cleaning cycle so that we can clean the plastic film cutter. This page is really very important because thanks to this page, what you can do is setting up a specific search. For example, you may want to decide whether or not the wrapper has to work automatically. So depending on all the automation cycles, and then manually, you can activate it by clicking on the arrows as you've seen before. It is also possible to enable, this kind of function. Now, with this function, the height of the film is reduced thanks to a specific tool that you can find on the wrapper so that you can basically crease the film while, the wrapper is wrapping the pallet from the bottom up. Now, this means that you can better structure and even strengthen or reinforce, if you will, the wrapping, cycle of the bags that you can find in the pallet. You can also have the so-called complete film reduction. Now, this means that basically you can see the creases when, the arm goes up, but also when the arm goes down, wrapping the entire pallet. It is also possible to set up a process that at the end of the wrapping cycle will be able to label the pallets. So once again, there's basically a printer with a labeling unit, and in this case, we create specific labels that can be put on the pallet. It is also possible to load, if you will, or in this case, I should say, upload recipes. You can create new recipes. You can save all of them. And this is something that we will find, I mean, inside the program. You also have some specific menus allowing you to have fine-tuning of the machine so that you can adjust, if you will, the machine based on the size of the bags or the sacks or the bundles. Now, this is a user menu, and this can also be used with the help of one of our remote engineers in case you need adjustments and or fine-tuning of the machine. Once again, we need to pay attention and to be careful to the pre-stretch function. This is the key feature of the wrapper. This means that the film is absolutely applied correctly onto the bags or sacks or bundles on the pallet. Now, let me take you quickly onto this page for a small short focus on the performances of the machine. So in this page, you can see all the performances. Now, performances can also be a zero set or cancelled. You can see here the number of cycles or revolutions of the machine. You can also see the wrapping speed. You can also see how many meters of film have been used. So in general, all of the performances made or carried out by the wrapper. Now, all of this data, thanks to a third-party data collection system, can be sent to the central system in order to generate a report. So once again, this is it with my part of the presentation. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, Paolo, thank you so much. We can also say that on the interactive panel, we can also upload all the documentation of the machine, electric diagrams, instruction manuals, and spare parts catalog. This means that the consultation of this documentation is very easy from readers or operators. Paolo and Roberto, thank you both so much. May I ask you a couple of questions that we have collected? The first question is, what about retrofitting my handling system? How long do I have to wait for the design, production, and installation of the option? Now, if you already have a machine, well, this is very quickly because we just have to connect it to the existing palletizing system. So now, of course, we have to identify and study the layout of the machine, and I mean, we do the setup of the machine, we do the configuration, and then maybe straight or 90 degrees, but more or less, I mean, it takes 10 days to do the complete installation of the machine. Oh, that's very quick. It is, yes. Great. I have another question. This machine, I mean, do you require a specific quality of plastics, or can you also use different types of plastic systems without stopping the machine? Now, as for the wrapper that we have presented today, I mean, with the pre-stretch system, of course, we need to use a specific plastic film, and this is something that's required for pre-stretch machines. I mean, the mechanical, elongation or stretching, capacities have to be able to have mechanical stress that may reach 300%. Anyway, this is something you can find, commonly on the market. Now, our machine in particular is, guaranteed within a specific operating range of between 17 to 23 microns. So this is the thickness. And as I said before, up to 300% pre-stretch. It goes without saying that if you consider a traditional wrapper, we can use reels having a lower quality, the so-called traditional film. If you want to have the pre-stretch function, of course, you need better quality plastics. Our machine has another key feature, so it is able to modulate the pre-stretch percentage from the operator's panel. So if you buy, a reel, I mean, the calculation, so to say, is immediate and very easy to be done. Okay, then this is it. So once again, I can see it is now 4:30. So we just wanted to have 30 minutes with you. Okay, then, grazie. So thank you. Thank you so much, Paolo and Roberto, for your participation. Also, would like to thank all the participants. If you have further questions, if you have doubts or personal curiosities, so please drop a line to conferenceroom@ocrim.com and we will answer all the questions. Any other information, please follow us on our social networks, so blogs, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and you will find plenty of new developments from OCRIM. Once again, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon or the evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.